Blog Talk Radio.
What's good? What's good? It's Thursday. That means you tuned into another episode of Endie Fiya right here with your girl, Nakia. And I know I see you looking at me sideways over there. You know what? I'm done. I'm not even talking about the intro music anymore. I'm done. I think I'm going to stick with Smooth Criminal and just keep it at that right there. It kind of gets me, amped a little bit before the show. I know where that music came from. And I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm not talking about the intro music anymore. I'm good. I'm going to keep my money in my pocket, all right? And I'm not going to say anything else about the intro music, okay? All right. So let's talk about Tuesday night. Tuesday we had on the show R&B and neo-soul artist out of North Cali. Yes, Chanel Wilson. If you did not get an opportunity to listen to that episode, make sure that you check it out on Spotify, iTunes, where we at? TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker. You go through the list. Go find it. Go listen to the episode and support this artist. Her EP project, 3 new tracks will be released at the end of September. So we want to make sure that we're supporting her. And she mentioned that it's about not unconditional love, but what it takes to love somebody conditionally. I'm excited to hear this because we always talk about, the capability of loving somebody unconditionally and what it takes to be able to do that. Y'all know me. I can't keep a nigga. So I want to know about the conditional love. I'm sorry. I already know about the conditional love. But from somebody else's perspective, I want to hear it. Musically, I want to hear it because I think I've dealt with it long enough. Conditional love and the different aspects of it, but I want to hear from a musical point of view, especially from this artist, and how she talks about how her music has grown and due to motherhood. So she's entwining, or intertwining that in this EP. So I'm excited to hear this. So be looking out for that at the end of September. We don't have a title for the EP yet. That's on the hush, but we do know the last week in September it will be released. When you follow me on social media, you'll be able to, I'll give you all the information. As I get the information, I'll be able to pass it all on to you all. All right? Super excited. What else has been going on since Tuesday? All right, so my daughter's at college, right? So every day I get an update, like some crazy stuff. And I'm not going to talk about, like, the really crazy stuff because I don't want to offend any anyone who may have a particular race. I don't want to talk about that type of stuff, but I will say my daughter dropped a toothbrush this morning in the bathroom, right? And this is something she's never done. Never dropped a toothpaste at home, never. All right, but she dropped a toothpaste in the bathroom this morning, and that was like, my daughter's a drama queen for you all who know her. This was huge. she's waking me up this morning, 7 o'clock, like, Ma, I dropped my toothbrush in the bathroom, and even though they clean every day, the floor I know it was dirty, and I try to rinse it off really quickly, but like certain people, they don't take showers, and oh my gosh, she just went on and on and on, and I'm like, baby, calm down. Like, we can get you another toothbrush, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, no, but I need to, like, brush my teeth right now. And, it was, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, it was drama. Like, all day long, it's been drama about this toothbrush, right? And so finally, at the end of the day, she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not going to make it here. Like, you haven't been there, like, 3, 4, or 5 days, right? School only been started, like, 3 days. She's not going to make it now because she can't walk to a Walmart like she ever walked to a Walmart. She can't walk to a Walmart. She's in, no close proximity to anything that she could just walk to. Like, she's all fascinated with walking everywhere now, right? So I can't walk to the Walmart. It's just like 10 minutes away. And, like, I don't know how to take, like, the bus. Well, I don't know the bus schedule. Now, she knows public transportation, but she doesn't know the bus schedule yet for the campus, right? And so she's just going on and on and on. And I'm like, in the meantime, I'm texting people like, yo, could you stop by and drop her off like a pack of toothbrushes, because she's stressing. Mom's got it covered. That's all I got to say. For you new parents who are sending your kids to college for the first time, like, this is not my first go round, but for you sending your students to college for the first time, make sure you got people on standby, like, for the first month, because so much stuff is going to come up. So make sure you got people on standby just to be able to help that student out so that they're not so stressed out. All right? Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself, not just for the student, but do it for yourself. And as always, make sure that you're keeping your students lifted up, in prayer. They had the shooting at Clark University this weekend, and I was telling a parent whose daughter is about to graduate from there. My daughter on their campus, they had a robbery, 3 in the morning, like doing move-in weekend. There was a robbery. Luckily, they caught the suspects, but these students were freshmen. I don't know why they was out at 3 a.m., but they was robbed at gunpoint. So can you imagine, like, the traumatic experience right before school starts? Same thing happened with, Clark Atlanta. They were all Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta had a big, like, back-to-school gathering, and you have freshmen, and 2 of the survivors of the shooting were actually freshmen. So you have classes that were supposed to start on Monday, and they did, but you have 2 of your freshman class, students who can't start because they're hospitalized over what? So we need to remember to keep our students lifted in prayers. It is from the graduate students all the way down to the pre-K. We need to keep them lifted in prayers each and every day. Keep them lifted in prayers. As parents are traveling to and from school, dropping their children off, you need to keep the parents in prayer as well. There was an incident, last week where 2 parents got into it, like, in the parking lot, with guns that went inside the school. So we need to just keep these students and parents, keep the nation in your prayer. That's all I got to talk about. I'm going to keep you updated, though, because college life is really going to be fun with my daughter this year. It's going to be lots of fun. So we're going to have lots of stories to talk about, and I'm going to actually have some parents on the show that are starting different community outreach organizations within different states. They've been reaching out to me, so I'm going to have them on the show later on this year to discuss, the different ideas and concepts that they've been coming up with. I'm excited to talk to them later on this year. Not quite as excited as I am to talk to my guests this evening. I'm always excited to talk to my guests. But this one, when you can get somebody that's on your level, like they do the same thing you do, that's super exciting, because I really want to pick her brain just to find out, what it is that what, let me shut up. Let me tell you all about my guest, and then we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to start picking that brain, all right? I'm talking about radio host, motivational speaker, and writer, Rosalyn L. She was born in the Bronx, New York, and she was the youngest of 5. The only girl, wow, She experienced a hard knock life, watching her mom holding it down for the family. Her oldest sibling was shot by NYPD, and another was incarcerated. Her mom made sure that her youngest child was in church and governed with love. Later, Rosalyn attended Dodge Vocational HS. During high school, she found a passion for writing and teaching. She later did video modeling. That was short-lived, she said. But she learned the business and decided that she could use her pen and her knowledge for promoting to help others. She later started doing intern work while at an online radio station and later became their publicist. As she worked, she learned and was allowed to write blogs for the station. She also did pitches to other publicists and those in media about the radio station. Rosalyn L. later got her start with 2 hip-hop magazines and did press interviews for both of them. Although she was growing in her craft, she had hardships financially and personally. Having a failed marriage and almost losing her youngest child, she later found out her mother was dying of cancer. She continued to write and assist on radio jobs and remained a good writer on assignments. She managed to write and to balance her life, all while dealing with depression. Today, she is a radio host on Words of Advice on 2 stations and a writer for a handful of online sites dealing with lifestyle and culture. Through her speaking and writing, Rosalyn L. helps those become better and accountable for their lives and their choices. You can listen to her every Saturday from 7 to 8 p.m. on johnzoonetwork.com and on Fridays from 8 to 9 p.m. on WPIR 98.4 FM. All available on their websites, including Google Play and other major app providers. Endie Fiya listening audience, I present to you this evening my guest, writer, radio host, and motivational speaker, Rosalyn L.
Peace and blessings. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, man, I just love the whole introduction. Thank you for the whole applause. You can hold them now.
Boom, boom. Like I'm mastering this. Like I'm ready to start being like a DJ and everything. And watch my flow later on in the show. Watch me now. Yo,
yeah,
it's
actually different. It's different being the one to have to jump on when I'm usually the one doing like what you're doing on the flip side. So it's sweet. It's sweet.
I actually had not had the opportunity to read your bio in its entirety. I think I skimmed it maybe when I first saw the creation of the episode, but I had not read the bio in its entirety. I want to just jump right down to the bottom of the bio.
Oh yeah.
And talk about balance, and how hard it is to balance and stay focused when you suffer with depression, especially in this industry right here.
Where do I start? Well, actually dealing with it as far as within the industry, you definitely have to have tough skin. You know, you definitely have to have tough skin because you have people who, you know, pretty much don't owe you anything. You know, everybody's just trying to achieve and everybody has their own common goal. And, you know, you're sensitive. You know, certain things affect you a great deal. And in this business, you have to learn it. And it's all about business, nothing personal. So a lot of times if you get too much in your feelings, you will be affected by it. And you have to have a balance where you don't keep the switch turned on all the time. You got to know when to turn certain things off. And dealing with the depression, you're trying to fight, you know, the battles within yourself. And then you're trying to deal with business at the same time and all these different personalities. So it's a fight. But if you really want to achieve greatness, if you really want to, you know, reach other people and let them see your creativity and not so much, you know, the pain and the frustrations and the things you go through with yourself internally, then you'll do it because you love it. You know, you will try to find a common ground. You will. You know, so it's hard, but if you really love what you do, you'll make it work. You will. With prayer, meditation, or whatever, you will do what you need to do.
I think it was important for me to ask that because somebody needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I always ask, my guests about what piece of advice, would you be able to offer somebody in the industry who, would want to pursue maybe what it is that you're involved in. But that piece of advice right there was important because somebody needed to hear that. And there's so many challenges I feel that artists face in this industry, that producers face in this industry. Your people always post about not being in competition with anyone but themselves, and that right there can be a battle in itself if you're fighting with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that piece of advice that you just offer right there, somebody needed to hear that.
I'm glad I was able to share it. It's as real as it gets. It's as real as it gets.
So your passion for writing began when you were in high school. Did you ever feel like now, looking back, that it would have taken you to the heights it has taken you now?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. When I was just writing, actually I thought I was a rapper. I wanted to be Queen Latifah. I was writing for a different reason. I was a young buck in the 80s coming up. And, like I said, I'm the youngest. And I had all boys. So I wasn't with the whole Barbie doll dream house. I was playing, Atari 1600, theirs, of course. But I was playing that. I was watching them, play their little Skelzy games in the hallways and running around doing 80s stuff. Not so much social media like it is now for these kids, but actually going outside.
Right.
And writing was a part of me escaping from my environment. I would go in my room and I would just draw. I couldn't really draw. I would, just imagine myself somewhere, and I would write. And it stayed with me as I got older. It just stayed with me, and that was my way of escaping, and it still is. It was my outlet. And it helped me during grieving times. It helped me during breakups, frustrations, even to this day. And when I was in high school, that was, my therapy. In the Black community, so to speak, we are so cautious how we say mental illness, or we're so careful that we talk about, we have to just have tough skin all the time and not let everything bother us. We always pretend, you know what I'm saying? We're always pretending that nothing bothers us. When deep down, we're hurting, we're frustrated. And my mom told me when I was young, she was like, don't take out your frustration all the time on people. Sometimes you can't help it, it is what it is, we're human, but find something to do with your energy. Find something that, you can do. And my brothers, even though, one of them, got into some trouble or whatever, he used to box. He would box, or he would go outside and jog. So everybody had their own outlet. Mine was writing, and I was doing it ever since.
What was an early experience where you learned that language had power?
Ooh. Language for me, I learned had power when I'll speed it up, when I had to write my mother's obituary.
Ooh.
That was it. Yeah, that was it for me. Well, all these years I was always writing, writing pitches and writing, come see this show, come see this. And everybody's giving me credit like, the way you worded that flyer, the way you, sounds good, appreciate that. But when it hits home for you, you got to tell somebody's story that you love. That was when words for me became alive. Where it's like, how do you tell somebody's story? Someone that means something to you, not pass that information to someone else and say, hey, just print this. But you sitting down and actually writing your mother's story. And I actually spoke, along with my other sibling, I spoke and gave a poem or whatever for my mom. And that was, I can say, to answer your question, was writing my mother's obituary. That was when it came real to me. And I'm not trying to have everybody on the show crying, but I mean, I'm a very straight up person, which I told you from the beginning before we even started the show. I was like, you're going to get me. You're going to get me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
As a
that
writer,
was it for me.
Most writers are encouraged to write what they know, to write about real life experiences. Do you find that what you write about, when you write about the real life experiences, does it impact your audience more so than writing something that fictional? What impacts your reading audience more?
When I actually can explain and relate to it. I think that's the kicker for it all. Anybody can just, read something and put some words together and, do a little bit, spelling check and stuff. You can put something together. But when I try to share an article for business or entrepreneurship or sharing something, as far as, health and wellness, good informative tools that can help someone's life or their career, I'm coming from a place that I am at that moment. I'm on the same page as my reader. And I think that that's the connection that I have with the audience, is that when they're reading, they're not looking at me as having it all together. They're actually reading and saying, she's just like me. And she's just sharing her journey right along with me, but through writing. So I think that that's the connection that I try to have, and that I think impacts my listeners on the show or even through my writing, is that when they read everything line for line, I'm giving you a story that I can also say that I have a role in, if you will.
Now, I know that you write for many different outlets.
Right.
How did you get your first piece published?
I'll take it back to community college. I say probably like late 97, 98. A friend of mine, we put our money together and we started doing some work and stuff. And we always promised each other that no matter where we were in life, we were going to be big. But it's kind of switched a little bit, because I never thought I was going to be in business. I always thought I was going to be a lawyer. And, on the other flip side, my other two friends, they were like, okay, we're going to be business. The other one was like, I'm going to be an MC. So everybody kind of switched through the years, and everybody's in business, or either has some setbacks in trying to kind of get back on the right foot, like myself. And everybody was just, we stayed geared to what we were doing. And from that point on was when I reached out to a couple of blogs. Shout out to the Things Greg Sees. He was the first platform that gave me an opportunity to share my writing stuff when I was just doing, intern stuff. I was just doing intern online, and I was back and forth in New York a little bit. I wasn't quite out of New York yet. And the Things Greg Sees gave me my platform. Like, that was kind of like, and then I transitioned into doing more publicist work with the stations and, doing interview behind the scenes work with them. But I have to give credit to Things Greg Sees, because I actually put my first blog on there, like my first blog, and no one was really on social media at that time. Everybody was just kind of like, I think if I'm not mistaken, the MySpace era was still kind of like fading out, or somewhere around there. It was no Twitter. It was none of that. It was, oh man, like we still was using, and it's kind of funny, we were still using dial-up, like AOL. like for real, like you literally using AOL and AOL Messenger. Like, for those, I'm telling my age, but I mean, let's take it back.
We must be like the same age.
Like, let's take it back. We were doing AOL Messenger. We were messing each other article and links and stuff. Like, you know, when we would try to do our little supposed interviews, we would have the actual video camera we got from Walmart on top of our computer in our house, and we would adjust the light so that we could be able to do our video interviews. And we were doing it on AOL Messenger. This is like 98, 99.
Yes.
That was how we did our blog. Yeah, it was something else. And that was like the first beginning time for me with doing the whole blog and radio thing. And then that's when, you know, Hotline Radio was born. Hotline Radio came along and it was a wrap. That was over. My mom used to just be like, "What are you doing? I gotta use the phone." You know?
Yes.
You know, so she's every time somebody's calling, it's getting a busy signal, you know, because I'm trying to do this radio thing, you know. And a friend of mine, he was doing things on BronxNet. You know, he was doing like just networking. Yeah, like you used to be able to have like rappers and people who want to be radio hosts, or anybody could have gone on the Ron Alexander show. For those who know what I'm talking about, if you're from New York, Ron Alexander gave a lot of us a platform. Yeah, he gave us a lot of, like, if we had parties, he'd be like, "Yeah, if you got the footage, I'll play it. Yeah, you know, let me know." He was really cool with putting a lot of people on. So, yeah, Ron Alexander really put on a lot of artists, a lot of up-and-coming PR publicists from New York, like kids who just playing around with cameras. I mean, we didn't really know what we were doing, you know. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I was doing videos. But I have to give a shout-out to Things Greg sees, because that was that era where he was like, "Yo, you need to do something with this. Like, real talk. You need to go ahead and do something." And then I just stayed behind the scenes for most of the radio life, but yeah, that was how it started. Like, yo, we came up like the Jeffersons.
Yo, for real. You flashed me back, for real. 98, I went upstate to Syracuse. I was still there. Syracuse. We used to come down to the 6, though, on the weekends. I remember
like we were.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm serious. Like, we were like, I mean, we had a little video camera on top of the computer, like, for real. Like, if our moms would have picked up the phone, we lost connection. Like, you had to dial up and wait. It was like, yo, we had a bad connection. You know, we don't want to say our moms answer the phone in the room, you know what I mean? So I would sometimes have to ask my mom, like, "Mom, I'm about to get on, try to do this thing, you know." She said, "Well, I need the phone at 9 o'clock." You know, so I'm like, "Ma," you know, but it made us, you know, who we are today, you know. But yeah, it's a funny story, but it's really how I really started, like, you know. And the whole video thing came along during that time too. You know, I was in the video for like 40 Thieves and Camp Low. Yeah, we that was like early 99, 2000, and that's what I was like. I see how these guys. I thought I was more impressed behind the scenes what was going on. Then I said, I know I got the writing. And I was like, man, the writing is really, really how you connect with people. Like, you really can, like, pick people's brains. And you can talk to people with the microphone. And you can kind of be like a news anchor or something. And I was like, man, forget this video looking cute. I want to get behind the scenes. Like, I want to be, you know, I want to be important. You know, I wanted that. So I made a switch.
Yeah.
Like, right after 2000, I switched quick.
So what way have you noticed that your older writing has changed, or your newer writing has changed from your older writing?
My younger writing was more like fashion. It was more about artists. It was more about actually up-and-coming artists, indie artists. I used to constantly write about that all the time, and I used to always go to their events. And I actually was working with HypeFreshMag.com around 2002, 2003, maybe a little later. And I used to do a lot of their events. And I used to go out to, like, Soho, New York. And I still keep in touch with a few of the artists around that time. And went to a lot of their up-and-coming award shows. And that's what I was doing. Now, because I'm learned so much from being behind the scenes, my writing now was about longevity in the business. It's about being an entrepreneur, you know, ownership, having financial knowledge and understanding, really knowing what branding really about, really understanding the business, not just saying you understand, but showing and prove that you really know what you're talking about, not just so much just talking about, I got this song, I got this, and I got that, but really having some type of substance. So my articles is different. It's more mature.
And I think I touch upon this with every guest that I have on the show, because they mention that in some way, how important it is not to just be an artist. You have to be well-rounded nowadays. Back in the day, it was all right to just be the songwriter or to be the artist. But now you have to know every aspect of this industry, inside and out. You have to know the team that's behind you, what they're putting out for you. You know what I'm saying? You just can't sign on the dotted line and keep it moving. You got to know what you're signing. You got to know how to read the contracts. You have to know what your finances are saying. You just can't, like I said, you just can't sign and expect everybody else to push your brand for you. You got to know how to push your brand yourself in case that team walks out on you. So I think that is important. And I don't think I have the links, but at the end of the show, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get all that information out so that, those that are listening now and those that are going to come back and listen, they have the opportunity to reach out to you, to read the articles, to listen to the articles, or listen to your show and just be informed on what you're talking about. And I do want to talk about the show, Words of Advice. And exactly when you the onset of the show, when you decided, this is what I want to do, what was your mission for that show?
I wanted the platform Words of Advice. First of all, the title was crazy because it wasn't the original title. It was Business Talk. And when it actually featured its debut on Hotline Radio, and the station owner was like, "What? Nah, it's not going to work." And I was like, "Man, I'm giving words of advice." And when I said that, that's when he was like, "Well, that's what you need to say. If that's what you're giving, title it what that is, embody that." And I went back and forth for like a week, and he was like, "I need a show title. Like, you're going to debut in like a week." And I was like, just go ahead with Words of Advice. And he started laughing. Everybody was like, "Words of advice, okay? That's decent. Words of advice. What does that mean?" And pretty much he was just saying, for all the entrepreneurs and business owners that's out there, I have some information that not only will help you, but it will connect you with your consumers. It will connect you with your audience, your targeted audience. It will give you confidence. It will help you through balancing your life and your business. It will give you substance and understanding, not just walking around like a clone following the trends, but really knowing who you are and your place in business. And I wanted the show to reflect all that. I wanted to embody everything, but I also wanted to tell on myself too. That's why I consider myself always, sometimes within the show's, ending, I always would say, hey, I'm putting myself out there. This show is not just for you guys, but it's also for me. All the research and all the information that I give on the show, I'm taking it in for myself too. Like, this is feeding my soul as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, when you came up with the concept, for the show, did you think, like so many other people do, there are so many shows out, there are so many podcasts out, there are so many on-air personalities out trying to do this. There may be so many other shows with this same type of idea or concept in mind. Did you have that in the back of your head, like, I want to do this, but ...
Yeah, I knew about it. I'll rephrase that. But one thing I wanted to make sure that I did not do out of, under no circumstances, I did not want to follow the trend. I didn't want to lose myself where I was just doing the copycat thing. I didn't want to just an average show just about business. I just didn't want to just be a writer. I just didn't want to just do it in those ways, in that avenue. I wanted to make sure that when I came on air, or when I spoke to someone, they knew the difference between me and another person and who was Rosalyn L. when I wrote something and a person can read it, I want to make sure that my writing style has a signature. When I'm on air, it's a signature. You know that the way I deliver something, and that's something that I'm every day still working on. And that's how I pretty much do the show. I let everybody know, like, today's topic is going to be marketing because I'm actually going through a marketing situation. So I would pretty much let my experiences be a part of the show's topic. You know, if I'm dealing with, you know, with personal conflicts at the moment, trying to budget my business and my brand, that will be the topic. Meaning I'm actually showing you that I'm going through this right along with you, and here's some of the tips that we both can benefit from that I'm learning through the process. So that's pretty much how I do my show topics, how I pretty much put the show together, and what the show platform is really about. So when I look at everybody else, I really don't try to stress it as much because I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I try my best to focus on just that.
Have you suffered any skepticism or resistance from others in the industry because you're not following trends, because you're not the copycat type, because you are trying to set a different standard with your show?
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had people that wanted me to have a certain type of image. I had people that I worked with previously, without saying names, that wanted me to connect with my show, you know, in other avenues, you know, that I'm like, no, that's not where I'm going. Well, if you go this way, you know, it'll benefit you this way and that way. But I knew I was losing myself. You know, I was losing myself, and that was not how I want to be publicized. That's not the direction that I want my brand to go. I've had people doubt me, you know, and probably look at me as just a pretty face, you know, or just say, you know, I'm not marketable because I'm not doing this, or I need to do that, or they try to change me, or they don't see my vision, and it hurts. It really hurts, and all you want is to be understood. But I take everything with a grain of salt, and I'm very demanding. I'm very headstrong, and I got a mouth on me. So it's but so far you're going to go with me with telling me what to do. You know, it's like I can take some of it when I know deep down I have to be honest with myself, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. But then when I really feel that you're saying this and it sounds like, well, I'm taking it as you're breaking me down, you're really not being supportive, like you're coming across as a hindrance, then I have to be very mindful what the intentions of people are around me. I have to be very careful with that, and I've had it, but I think that is a blessing and it's a curse. So I don't look at it as, sometimes I get mad at it. So let me be real. But I don't take it as if I've been defeated by it. I just take it as this is another obstacle that I have to cross that's going to teach me more about me and teach me what my weaknesses are and what my strengths are. And every time I come across a situation that makes me cry, that disappoints me, that frustrates me, it's only teaching me who I am going to become. It's taking me to my next level in ways, and I don't want to get preachy, but I'm 40. So I've had some experiences. Like I said, in the bio that you read about me, I dealt a lot with the whole depression. I dealt a whole lot with insecurities and trusting people and trusting myself and believing in myself. And in this industry, and not to take away from the question, you have to be mindful who you tell your dreams to. You have to be very, very mindful. And I'm telling anybody out there listening to me, be very careful who you tell your dreams to. Be very careful who you allow into your mind. Be very careful who you network in this industry, because everybody is not trying to help you progress, but they are trying to allow you to lose speed. So I have to learn that. You know, it's life, but it will make you better so that where you're going, you can look back on everything you've been through, whether it's business or whatever, and you'll say, now I see why I met these people in life. I see why I went through all this. This was teaching me about me. You know, we're mad at the villains, but the villains are really in our lives to teach us about ourselves. Like, okay, oh, so that's my weakness. Okay, if this person comes along and makes you feel insecure about areas, it's really their job that I think the universe does to bring people into our lives to say, you know what, you're teaching me. Because the next 2-3 years where I'm at right now, I'm not going to be there anymore because I graduated. I matured. And I think in business, that's the catch. So, I mean, whatever situations that I've gone through, I'm grateful for. I don't like it all the time. I don't. But I'm going to just keep on pushing. You know, I'm just going to keep on pushing.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Jerusalem from the Scarfella Music Group, and you on the air with the hottest station, Endie Fiya. With your host, Lil Timmy and Nakia. Right here, on the station, bringing you all the hottest hip-hop hits, Endie Fiya. Let's get it.
You're just tuning in. You're live right here on Endie Fiya with Nakia and my special guest, writer, radio host, and motivational speaker, Rosalyn L. Oh, she said just call her Roz. Call her Roz.
Mm-hmm,
you know what? I saw your
definitely.
picture, and I thought I knew you. I was like, I know her. Then I thought, nah, I probably don't know her. I'm going to figure out where I know you from, though, because I know you.
Yeah,
you
might. Like I said, you just might. Like I said, you know, I'm a Bronx native, so you might cross paths with a 6th straight.
Yeah.
You know, probably did, you know. You know, we probably crossed paths or whatever.
Back in the 90s, I'm sure of that. I'm sure.
Right, you know, the 90s was that decade, you know.
Yes. As a female in this industry, and as a radio host, doing your own thing, but independently, how hard is it?
Oh, God,
you
hard.
know, you know where I'm going with this. How hard is it to, I guess, try to live up to whatever standards it is that people are trying to, whatever the figment in their imagination happens to be. I want to use this for an example, and you can answer the question. Star Brim, you know who Star Brim is, right?
I do.
All right. So Star just got out of prison a couple of months ago.
Right.
She's been doing phenomenal. She got out. You know, she's been doing phenomenal. Well, a couple of days ago, I want to say it was Monday, her podcast dropped. It's number 1 in the country. Right? Yes. And so everyone is just like, you know, well, it's probably because of who she's attached to and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I listened to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it, you know what I'm saying? I watched it or whatever. But, and I think there's so many people that have laid the groundwork for their brand, and they've been working. I ain't talking about me now. They've been working for years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just can't seem to get anywhere. Like, they can't get anywhere. People don't realize all that goes on behind the scenes and what it takes on a, I won't even say a weekly basis, because some people air nightly. Some people air, you know, bi-weekly. You know what I'm saying? Some people, whatever, you know, however they're airing, but it's something that, and then you never stop doing this. Like, I do this in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? I do this when I do sleep. I do this in my sleep. So not only as someone on air personality, but as a female, you know, we talked about the skepticism, you know, and the resistance that you may get from your show in general, but just talk about behind the scenes, how hard it has been for you to elevate female in this industry.
It's very hard, because it's not just you know, you would think that it's female against female, and that's not true.
Right.
Females and females actually rock with each other. Like, we're all good.
Right.
Like, real talk, we're really good. But the problem what happens between other females at times is lack of communication and understanding. And I think a lot of times we don't respect each other's platform and where we are placed in each other's lives. You know, the value. And it just all about valuing, you know, your persons, you know, your friends, your girlfriends, people in business as females. This industry is really funny because now it's all about being attractive. You know, they want to market you based on looks. You know, you got the body shaming going, which I got a movement I'm really about to start that's really going to change the game with this body shaming. You know, I'm seeing too much females, and I have a 15-year-old daughter where they, you know, are influencing her, and I tried to nip it in the butt where I'm on her social media account where I'm just not with this whole, you know, females thinking that it's all about the outside and focus more on the inside is my thing. So I feel like females just are not, there's no problem with females. I think the reason, like I said before, valuing each other, having the right resources, you know, getting over a lot of hurt and disappointment, because a lot of people have been shady to each other. I mean, we all have issues from old girlfriends, old business partners, is what it is. It's life. And it's not really much a male thing or female thing. It's a person thing. You know, it's about us being human beings, just respecting each other for what we bring to the table and knowing that you give me what you want in return. But you have to set yourself up and be accountable for the respect that you want at the end of the day. And a lot of times we don't want that. You just expect for a person just to put us on the map and to promote us and to share our work and do this and don't put in the work. But just because I'm a female or because I have hits or because I'm pretty, but you have no talent. You know what I'm saying? You have to make yourself marketable beyond just the outer exterior. There got to be some substance, got to be something more that you bring to the table. And I think, like I said, accountability with us as women can actually make relationships behind the scenes way better. And even with dealing with men in the industry as well, when they see that there's low self-esteem in a woman, when they see this friction, then you got no good guys, not all men, that will come in the industry and that would play on that and take advantage. And I'm keeping it real. If a woman is not level-headed to market herself and mean business, know her business, know her worth, she will easily be manipulated by a guy who's just trying to get between her legs or just pretty much just trying to get money out of her, you know, just to use her as a puppet. And then you move on to the next one. So, and then there's some good dudes that really, really want to teach and guide and really want to be a part of a positive movement, but because we've been so messed up, we don't necessarily know how to be open and receptive to that. You know, we can't, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. I can go on and on and on and on. The bottom line is we have to know how to value ourselves to be taken seriously more in this industry. And behind the scenes is really, really where things can get, you know, just out of control. If you allow it. If you allow it. That's why I always say do your research, value yourself, and get around mentorships and people that can help you and guide you. And don't be a know-it-all. You know, definitely don't be a know-it-all. And like I said, study your craft, learn your craft. Go to workshops, go to programs, get knowledge, get information so that you can better yourself, so that you won't have to be looked at as just some chick that just want to get on, or some chick that writes, or some female. Now, you want to be looked at as a queen, a woman of essence, a woman of, you know, standards and character. You want to be taken, you know, you want to be taken seriously. But you have to give someone something to respect.
There you go.
So if you don't, then behind the scenes it's gonna be iffy for you. Now I can't speak for everybody in the game, but your character will carry you a long way. Your image will carry you a long way. So it's based on it's based on how you trust people and how you really value yourself that will help you behind the scenes, really.
Yeah, and as I mentioned on the last show, it is important that you guys, when these guests are giving you these tidbits, these nuggets of information, that you grasp onto them. Don't let them, you know, drift by you. Soak in everything that you can get because you're getting this for free, all right? A lot of us had to go through this the hard way and learn the hard way, but you're getting all of this knowledge for free. So make sure that you're soaking all of this in and applying it, not only to if it's your music career, if you're a writer, to that creative aspect of your life, but it needs to be applied to every aspect of your life. You do have a caller on. I want to open up the line so that if they got a question for you, they want to give some love to you, I'm going to go ahead and open up the line to them. You're live.
Hello.
With Roz. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This is Tiffany calling from the Bronx. I know Roz from the Bronx.
Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi,
how you doing,
love.
Tiffany?
Hi.
How are you, Tiff? How are you?
I am great, babe. We went to high school together. I learned a lot about Rosalyn and her whole character throughout the years, and I'm watching her and seeing her grow. I'm out here in New York doing my thing, so I just called to really big her up. I'm proud of her and everything that she's doing. She was out here in New York. I'm mad that I missed her. I work for the government now, so I feel like when she comes back, we need to collaborate. I have a whole lot of initiatives in place where we talked really about it. Right, so we could definitely do that. But I'm definitely proud of you and everything that you're doing and all of your accomplishments.
We go way back. Thank you so much. I'm not even expecting Tiff to even call. I know she's busy, but wow, I appreciate the love, especially from the Bronx borough. Thank you so much for reaching out. That's what's up, Tiff. Yeah, go way back, like 8th, 9th grade. We got history. Yeah. When she said Tiffany, I was like, oh, my gosh.
So Tiffany know all about them dollars.
I appreciate that.
You know about AOL.
I'm all about women
she know about AOL, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm all about women empowerment, coming from a background myself, me and Roz, we did a lot of stuff, but me being a credible messenger here in New York, getting myself into a little bit of trouble, but climbing out of that and, going from nonprofit, growing, getting an associate, a bachelor's, a master's, and then going into the government. Not many women can do that.
Right,
not many women can do it, and not many women have done it. So I'm definitely absolutely showing my love and support, and whenever she comes through, we're going to collaborate because I have a lot of initiatives going on here in New York.
It's a blessing. I appreciate you for showing me love and bless you in all your endeavors and everything. And shout out to everybody, in the BX.
Awesome. Love you, girl. Keep doing what you do. I love it.
Much love, Tiff.
Thank you so much for calling in, Tiffany, and best of luck to you and all that you have going on. I'm going to have to collaborate with you when I come back home. Shit.
Yeah. You're going to love what's being done out here. There's no more second chances. We don't call it second chances in New York no more. We call it opportunities.
That's right.
All right, you guys stay safe. Peace and love, and much success to you, Roz.
Thanks, love. Safe.
All right, later.
It's always good to have people on your team that rock it
I'm
hard.
just really surprised. I appreciate the shout. I haven't, like I said, every time when I do come up, no, I don't always get a chance. It's like a hit and miss with us. And like I said, we have history. We've been friends for a very, very long time. There's a whole crew of us. Everybody just did, life. We did different things, but we made time, and it's good to hear her voice.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice, especially when it's love,
Yeah, for real. You mentioned earlier about being able to help in your community.
Right.
What do you do? What platforms are you? And I know you mentioned the body shaming, but any other platforms that you're standing on, that you're putting out, that you're supporting in the community?
Yes, right now, I just started doing some contributing writing right now with civiliansmag.com. It's actually was something that they reached out to me in regards about, me helping people that have been through depression, and they have a phenomenal writing team, and a lot of the articles and stuff that they're putting out, I wanted to really take it and bring it into my neck of the woods. And also, there's some publicists out here in South Carolina who trying to come together. And it's so crazy you asked me this question, because I just was sharing with my boyfriend, Ty, about, I'm trying to do something more in Charleston, South Carolina. And, so as far as like workshops is in the works. I'm actually trying to launch my own book. I'm actually trying to do more of that. And like I said, with the Civilians Mag, we're definitely working with this. I'm pushing this body shaming movement. I'm going to start probably with the next coming weeks. All my Instagram posts is going to be hashtag stop body shaming. It's going to really be something that I'm going to really push, because it's not just affecting the babies, but it's affecting adults. And we might see it as, it's just jokes. I mean, come on. Back in the days, we used to be like, your mama's so fat, this and that. We're living in a different time right now where, surgery is really being pushed, that we need to enhance our features. We need to do this to our bodies, and we got to do this. And we have the Instagram models who are just all tight and looking cute, but they're enhanced as well, most of them. Most of them are also enhanced. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at them back in the day, they don't look like that now. A lot of them are enhanced. A lot of them got money to get tucks and all kinds of things that a girl like me from around the way don't have. We don't have money to get lipo and get butt shots and all kinds of things. And we got our young girls at 14 and 15 talking about they want to get a filler and they want this in their cheeks and they want to do this and do that. I'm like, you're 15, your body's not even developed yet. What do you mean you want to enhance and fix something? Like, are you serious? The body you got now at 15, you're not going to have that 15 years from now. You talking about you want to fix what you got now? You're a kid. Your body's a baby. So it's a movement that I really am going to enforce and really put out. We got to stop making people think that, you got to have this perfect body. If you don't have a big booty, or you're not a certain color, you're not considered beautiful. If you're not from a particular race, you're not beautiful. Nah, I'm really focusing on the generation now that has real low self-esteem. And not just females. I'm talking about there's young boys that really feel like, they're fat or they're, too skinny, or, they don't have a lot of men around them to really help them with their development. So it's a big hold of stuff that I'm really trying to do right here in Charleston, South Carolina. I got something workshops to writing better material in regards to a business, entrepreneurs. A lot of the workshops are going to be coming within the next year or two. It's going to be geared to really changing the mindset of people for 2020.
Research the body positive movement.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have a model that you can use. They will send you workshop materials. They will allow you to come to a training in the summer. They will allow students to come to, they do middle school, high school, and college-age students. But they will allow them to fly out to wherever they're doing the training during the summer. They come to the training during the summer. They take back all this information to their school so that they can start a body positive movement at their school. And not only is this important at the age that you're talking about, 13, 14, 15, but kids carry this on to college as well. Now, I have a college freshman who's a daughter, my only daughter. But just pulling up on last week, moving her in, and to see how the young girls dressed that morning versus how they dressed that afternoon when their parents had dropped them off was, I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Me
but,
too. Yeah,
I
know. Yeah, that college life
you know what I'm saying? The difference. Difference between.
When you change outfits. Like a lot of parents don't realize that when you pull off, college life is different. Like you don't want to watch your child after you leave. You will probably be like, pack your stuff. You're going back home. You're going to community college.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a different world. You act one way there, and then when you touch back down with your people, you like, I gotta adjust. I gotta get back to what they remember. You know. So yeah, you're talking right. College life is totally different.
I'm proud to say I didn't raise that type of young lady. Any of her friends, they used to trip me out. They'd be like, nah, your daughter, the way you see her now, that's how she be when you're not around. And I'm glad that I was able to instill in her how she needed to act at all times. You know what I'm saying? And that we have that type of relationship. She knows if this is how you want to dress, then let me know. You know what I'm saying? And don't wait till I'm gone to be changing clothes. Like she's like, Mom, I don't understand why they was here one day and they already washing clothes. Well, if you change clothes 3 times in one day, well, that's why. But research the body positive movement. Like I said, they will send you materials, workshop materials if you need assistance, and helping to bring that the body positive movement to where you are. And people will come in and assist you on, training you on how to, not that I'm saying you don't, can't do your own research, but they will assist you with the proper materials so that you're able to get it out to the community. And that's the focus of where I try to do, and not to cut you off, that's the focus that I'm trying to do here. Also, I'm launching a media company, which is Consort Media. And what I'm really trying to do is have a whole platform that can help in those same dynamics. It's a slow walk. It's a slow approach because I want to make sure that I dot all my I's and cross all my T's. And what you're saying is a great thing to share. And it is. Body shaming and even the movement that you suggested as well is the one thing that Consort Media that I have a platform doing is definitely something that people really need to focus and pay attention on. And I hope we'll get into more into that in a little bit. The workshops is going to be phenomenal. Giving back to the community is another aspect. As far as the writing, you already know that. The radio shows, the connections, the platform for business owners to be able to share and to talk and to really interact with others that are just like them, vendors and people who want to sell merchandise. The platform that I want to have and working, 24/7 to really promote is going to be just that and more. I want to go beyond just writing. I really want to really touch the hearts and the souls of the community and people that really want a word and information that's going to help them with businesses. And they need to know where to go. And nobody wants all these, video links to do this and video links to do that and subscribe to this. And people want answers and they want them now. People don't want a quick fix. People want something that's actually going to be a true antidote to their situation. And I believe that my writing and, Consort Media can deliver that. So it's something everybody really needs to look forward to within the next year. Well, I'm excited. Let me know if you need any assistance with, because the body shaming, we like to call it, be positive movement, but that's one of the platforms that we stand on here. So let me know if you need any assistance, in that route there. We're down to the end of the show.
Anybody can feel free. Yeah. Anybody can reach out to me for more information.
Yep, this is now the time where you go ahead and get that contact information out so that anybody who's listening, they can, and they're interested in any aspect of what you're doing or what you have in store for the future in any area of what you're trying to do, whether it be your writing, whether it be the shows, whether it be your movement, the platform, the community outreach, whatever the need may be. The floor is now yours to go ahead and get all of your contact information out to our listening audience.
Thank you once again for your platform, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and my backstory and where I am in media and, what's going on with me right now. If anybody wants to connect with me, feel free to send me an email at rlpromotions225 at gmail.com. That's rlpromotions225 at gmail.com. I'm on Twitter at Ms. Rosalyn PR, and I'm also on Instagram at Ms. Rosalyn Official. Also, you can shout out to my partner in Consort Media, Mr. Ty Smalls, at HarlemBread71 at Yahoo as well for more information about how we can collab and work with you business-wise. My articles are available at 1212mag.com. I'm also at blackpepper.com. I'm actually also at bronzemagonline.com. I'm working with Civilian Mag. I'm working with just different writers right now. Shout out to blackstardommag.com. I just did an article and some work with them and a lot of blogging and we'll be doing with them as well. Just shout out to different platforms. Different publicists. Shout out to Miss Crystal Jordan from Fox News Atlanta. Just shout out to everybody who's really been supporting, sharing my tweets, my posts on Instagram, and just really supporting family and friends. Everyone that's tuning in, and like I said, there's workshops in the making for 2020. Like I said, I guess got new articles out. Shout out to Miss Tina Fobbs and her lovely husband, Mr. Tracy Fobbs, from Kingship, company, and just everyone there is doing phenomenal. We just put out an article about them a couple of weeks ago. A phenomenal group of people, great platform. I just think everyone, and most importantly, like I said, for more information on tuning in to me on just, publicists and work, things like that, you can listen to the radio show every Saturday, right on your favorite network for those who are listening, on Saturdays and Fridays. Fridays I'm on WPIR from 8 to 9 p.m. And on Saturdays I'm on the John Deere Radio Network from 7 to 8. So I got tongue twisted, but it's just so much information I want to put out. But like I said, follow me on Instagram and you'll see everything you need to know about me. And shout out, of course, to my lovely partner and love of my life, Ty. I love you very much, and thank you for being with me through all this. So, and thank you for having me.
Oh, she's so mushy.
Shout out. I had to give him his time. He had to be the very last.
Of course.
Yeah, he had to get his shine because we got something special, and he deserves the utmost respect and credit because in this industry, it will break your relationship down if you let it. And I thank God for it. I thank God for him for just riding with me and being the great man that he is. So yeah.
I go through a man like I change pennies, so yeah, I know.
No. Well, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, but I'm committed. But thank you so much for having me. It's a blessing, and like I said, I hope to collaborate with you and hear from you more as well.
Most definitely, I see that in the future. I'm glad we had the opportunity to talk before the show. So I do see big things in the future for both of us. Collaboration.
Yes, definitely. You got my information, and like I said, we'll talk after the show.
Most definitely. Make sure that you tune in on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Motivational speaker and author Casso Moore will be here. And no show next Thursday. Baby boy is turning 14, so we got a birthday party to plan. So plan. And then the following, we start September. September starts, and we'll announce September schedule on next Tuesday. As always, if you can't make every show, please don't miss every show. Leaving you with the quote for the evening. Some people have lives. Some people have music. That's Don Green. Until next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, have a good night.